Is it just me, or are the Soul Train Awards getting better and better each year?
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but you know, I'm in a better spirit, and I decided what better video to come back to than with a review of the Soul Train Awards. To me, the Soul Train Awards, that's an underrated award show. Not a lot of people pay attention to it, like the Grammys, the VMAs, Billboard Music Awards, the AMAs. I feel like the Soul Train Music Awards, it doesn't get as much hype as it deserves.
And that pisses me off.
It's such an underrated show, and they produce such quality content and such quality performances that kind of go under the radar. No, it's popular, but when you compare it to the Grammys and the VMAs, and it's kind of like, you know, it kind of just, especially in comparison to these award shows over the last year, over these last few months, like, this is one of the best award shows that came out this year. You also have to acknowledge it's been 50 years since Soul Train came out.
Soul Train, the hippest trip in America.
Platform that gave black artists of any genre that recognition that they deserved that they wasn't getting on other platforms. So it's just, you know, it all comes full circle. But let's get into last night's show. I really enjoyed it. And I love how they always have Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell hosting. To see their friendship all these years later, from Little Shops of Horror to Martin to appearing on each other's shows, and to see that they still got that tight-knit friendship after all these years. And I love their performance, I love the jokes, I love the outfit changes and the costumes and their gags throughout the show. I just love them, and I hope that they can keep them as the hosts for as long as possible, because they're doing a great job. This award show was at the Apollo, which is literally a bus ride away from me, the famed historic Apollo Theater. It's just like, this year's Soul Train Awards was A+. Check, pass, you know, it was A+. First, I want to start off with the Lady of Soul Award, Ashanti. I'm really glad that Ashanti is getting her well-deserved praise, because Ashanti, over the years, you can see how people look at her as like a washed-up artist, or she's a has-been, or oh, she was good in the 2000s, but like, I always say that. All the success she had in the early 2000s, and you know, because of all the stuff with Murder Inc. and all that, you know, her career kind of like almost faded away. But you really look at her discography, you look at her body of work, and you look at how she's been able to sustain herself, and you look at how she's been aging. Y'all see how Ashanti looks? It's like, damn, Ashanti still got it, and she always had it. Like she said, and I realized that when she was up there, next year make 20 years since Ashanti's officially been in the industry, and not only as an artist, but background, songwriting, doing vocals and everything. And even looking at her performance, you can see that she's a really engaging performer, and she don't gotta do a little 1, 2, 3, 2. She don't gotta do a choreography routine to engage the audience. She can walk around with her nice little outfit, her boots, her hair, swing it, kick it, twist it, and just, you can just vibe with her songs and everything. And it's just like, damn, finally, it's about time. You know, Ashanti is always, I feel like people be trying to play Ashanti. She got classics, she got hits under her belt. Those songs she performed was just like a little smidge of her hits. And I'm just like, now, she doesn't have the most extensive catalog over the last 20 years, but with her songs, her features alone, and some of the songs she did background and songwriting on, it was well deserved. It was about time, and I'm glad that Ashanti got that Lady of Soul Award. Legend Award went to Maxwell, and I'm like, damn. Well, he's another one of those artists. He came out in the 90s, and he was really a part of that neo-soul movement. And I remember my mother really loving him. She had his albums and listening to him, seeing his videos, seeing his big afro. And as y'all can see, I'm trying to grow mine out. Let's see what happens with that. And I'm like, wow, Maxwell's another one who doesn't really get the praise he deserves for his music. And you know, he might disappear for a while, but when he comes back, he comes back with hits, with classics, with just feel good songs. You know, throughout the last 20 plus years, every album that Maxwell has put out has been a great body of work. His singles are amazing, but you listen to his albums, great bodies of work. And it was about time that he got his well-deserved praise. And that's why at the end of his speech, where he started crying and break it down, it's just like, you know, it's about time. Jasmine Sullivan, she won multiple times. She started crying and she was just like, I'm not used to this. Because it's just like some of these great artists, they don't have the most mainstream audience or mainstream appeal or that most mainstream image, and they tend to get overlooked and underbooked, and it's kind of like, damn, for Jasmine Sullivan to be up there like, I'm not used to this, and thank you so much, and you know, talking about body image and self-image and being uncomfortable. I'm glad that she did that because it's the truth. You know, so many people go up there and so many artists go up there and just be like, they try to fake it, but it's just like, you know, you tell your truth. And I really got to get into her album. I heard the singles. I really got to get into her album that she recently released. But I'm so glad that she's getting her well-deserved praise because, as y'all know, Jasmine Sullivan is an amazing singer. She's an amazing artist, amazing songwriter. Her performances are amazing. She sounds better live than she does on a record. While she got it, when she was out, you know, I Bust Your Windows Out Your Car, I Love You Bad, and Lions, Tigers, and Bears, she just was one of those artists that was always overlooked. She was always overlooked. And it's about time that she got looked. You know what I'm saying? It's about time that she got looked at. It's about time that she got on stage to accept the award and hold an award and think of a speech. Like, it's about time. The Soul Train Awards, this year's Soul Train Awards, the moniker is It's About Time, because all these other award shows that have been coming out this last year alone, it's just been like a snooze fest.
Oh my God.
Some highlights, but an overall snooze fest. This Soul Train Awards, I watched the whole thing through, commercial breaks and all, just excited to see what's going to happen next. See, it kept me engaged, and that's a testament to how entertaining and how high value the content and the performers and the hosts and everything with the production of this show was. Now, getting into some of my favorite performances, I gotta say, there were a lot of artists on the Soul Train Awards that I wasn't really familiar with, but I really enjoyed their performance. I gotta ask y'all, who were some of y'all favorite performances from this year's Soul Train Awards? Mine's include, I loved Ari Lennox, and she came out there with her nice lingerie, showed her vocal range, and she had that nice look, but you could also hear her voice and how beautiful it was, and it was just something to sit back and vibe to it. I love that. I also loved her performance with Summer Walker. Now, Summer Walker, she's an artist that I really haven't gotten into yet, but from that performance, I was like, okay, I see the hype around her, because even though you could tell, you know, she had that thing with like social anxiety, I feel like she's conquering it because she did great. That was a nice performance, real nice, easy, smooth. And then Ari Lennox came in, and I loved it. I loved that. Bruno Mars and Pac Anderson, I loved that performance. That whole feel and look of the 70s and the disco era with the glasses and the outfits and the, you know, with the head bops and the background. I love that whole thing that Bruno Mars is doing now, where it's just reminiscent of the 70s and the whole real authentic Soul Train era when it first came out. I love that. It's a real diversion from the music out today. And of course, it's not the most original music, but it's still great music. They have the gospel section, but they also incorporate like that hip hop influence into it. And it works out, because you think hip hop and gospel, it really works out. Because it's just that powerful, the vocals, but then, you know, they dress a certain way and they have like them certain instrumentals that are reminiscent of like a rap song, hip hop song, but you still get of being in church and like that motivational feeling to, like, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. And even though she didn't perform, I really enjoyed when Normani won for Best Dance, because that video, I told y'all before, my other video I did about her, that dance routine or the dance routines in that video were top tier, and I'm glad that she's finally getting the recognition she deserves. Even if it's not a Grammy or a VMA, she's getting it from the Black Community Soul Train Awards, And I feel like I said, that should be held to the highest regard too. Even though it's not a Grammy, it's still a Soul Train Award. And the historic value that has should be of the same importance. But it's not. But still, I'm glad that Normani got up there. She did her speech and she talked about the same thing similar to Jasmine Sullivan. How, like, you know, I'm not used to this. It's not easy for us, you know, the black woman, especially black female artists. I did a video about that, to really get the praise they deserve for all the hard work and talent that they put out to us, the mainstream audience. Sometimes they don't even go that mainstream as their counterparts. But I'm glad that Normani, she was able to give her speech and she was able to like celebrate and be the one to honor Ashanti, because it's like the new generation honoring the older generation, that 2020s era R&B honoring the 2000s. Like, that was a full circle moment. I really enjoyed that. Favorite parts of the Soul Train Awards was that Soul Cypher. And most of y'all watching this, y'all know why. We had Music Soul Child, Tone Stiff, Corinne Hawthorne, Jack Ross, and El Varna. And you know, the Soul Cypher is when they get R&B artists to all sing a verse to a certain beat. With that verse, they show their vocal range and their runs and just their singing ability. And my favorite thing about this was, not only did they all sound amazing, but shout out to DJ D Nice. He decided to use the Aaliyah instrumental from Rock the Boat. He said it was in honor of her 20th anniversary of her Aaliyah album, self-titled album. And just hearing Rock the Boat and hearing them all sing over it and hearing them reference it, and El Varna was like, word. I was like, damn. I was like, wow. That was a nice surprise, especially with Aaliyah's music and all her full catalog finally being released. Hearing all of them sing to that instrumental, I'm going to keep saying this. It was a nice, amazing full circle moment to just hear them all bobbing out to the Rock the Boat instrumental and just hearing it in the background. It gave me chills. Just thinking about it now, it gives me chills. I'm like, yes. So overall, guys, I really enjoyed this year's Soul Train Awards. What did y'all think of it? What were some of your favorite moments? What were your highlights? And why do you think, besides the obvious reasons, why do you think the Soul Train Awards are not held to the highest regard like the Grammys or the AMAs or the VMAs? And you notice how certain artists don't even bother to show up? Y'all see that? Why do you guys think that is? Because really looking at it, this year's Soul Train Awards was better than more than half the other award shows, the mainstream award shows that came out this year so far. So that's all I got to say about that. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.